this is what my calendar has looked like for probably the last 10 years. And I don't say that to brag. I say that because all calendars are not made the same. Some are hustlers, some are grinders, and I'm going to get into the difference between the two in this video. So first of all, if you ever look at your calendar and you're like, why am I doing all of this? I've been there. Trust me. There were times where this packed calendar that I was just showing you was tearing me down. Like, I used to think that like long hours, sleepless nights, like all of that meant that I was moving towards success, that I was successful. However, all it was bringing me one step closer to burnout. Matter of fact, this photo right here is exactly how I look whenever I feel completely burnt out, right? So what I want to do in this video is give you 3 steps, right, to be able to, one, recognize if you're grinding, but making sure that you're putting towards like purposeful, like hustling, that you're actually going towards a goal. So if you're grinding, I want to talk to you real quick. How many late nights have you had where you're just like staring at the laptop, right? You're working graveyard shift. Maybe you feel like you're wasting your time, right? But it's just like hours, minutes, like days go by and you're like, man, I'm exhausted, right? That is the trap of grinding. It looks like you're making progress on the outside, right? But in reality, right, it's exhaustion. Yeah, it's exhaustion. It's burnout, right? And don't get me wrong, I am speaking from experience. The photo that I just showed y'all, this photo is me completely burnt out. Now, granted, this was, if I'm being honest, probably about 3 weeks ago. But this was because I was running on like 2 hours of sleep, had nothing to do with work. But this persona, this attitude that I had in this photo, this is something that I felt time after time after time when I was grinding. And like I said earlier, don't get me wrong, I'm speaking from experience. I've had the graveyard shifts as a security officer. I've had the 2 a.m. shifts working in media. I've been up in my home office at 4 a.m. working on things that I thought that mattered, and none of them did. Like, your calendar right now may be packed as mine, but we may feel completely different in where we are in life, our energy level, how successful we feel. Like, there are 2 different sides of that story. You may be saying yes to every single thing, but every single yes that you're saying is draining you, right? You may be surviving and not thriving. And I heard this quote one time that I want to share with y'all, and hopefully it sticks with you. Grinding focuses on volume, not vision. I'm gonna say that one more time. Grinding focuses on volume, not vision. It's not that you're lacking the effort, you're lacking the direction. And if we're being honest, social media doesn't really help, right? Because if you end up scrolling on social media long enough, you'll see a lot of people like glorifying, like, hey, I wake up at 4 a.m. I'm pulling all-nighters. Like, I'm on my 3rd cup of coffee, whatever it is. But how do they really feel? Like, after they get off social media, how do they feel? And most times they may be exhausted, they may be burnt out. And if I'm being honest with y'all, I woke up at 10:30 a.m. today? Yeah, 10:30 a.m. And most people, if they were to hear that or if they were to see that, they were like, man, I don't think I can ever wake up that late. I'm not successful, like, if I'm waking up that late. However, for myself, I am moving purposely. I'm hustling. So every single thing I'm doing between the times I'm awake, 10:30 or 10 a.m. to about 1 a.m., is all moving me towards my goal. In the past, if I would have heard my future self was waking up at 10:30 a.m., I'd be like, I don't know what he's doing. He fell off. But it's rest. That's what it really is. Like, I'm resting. I'm getting my proper rest. I'm getting my sleep. I actually slept 8 hours last night. That's something that I don't get a chance to do often. And when I think about hustling, I think about making sure that I'm putting my energy and efforts towards a specific goal, and I'm moving towards that goal every single day. So I had this up here just so y'all can visually see, if you're a visual person like me. Hustling, to me, right? To me personally, Phillip, Phenom, is having clarity on your goals and moving towards those goals every single day and using your energy to be able to do that. And for some of us, maybe we're hustling right now, right? Maybe we're grinding, but the goal is for by the end of this video, I want all of us to be hustling. So what I want to do is give you all 3 things that you can do right now that you can ensure that you are hustling. So the first thing is write down what you are working towards, right? Make sure you're specific. Is it your career growth, create a project, you're serving clients, like whatever it is, that is going to be your filter. And then after that, make sure that you're saying no to anything that does not align with those goals. The second thing is figure out what is going to move the needle for you. For example, like what are 1 to 3 tasks that you can do that's not busy work, that's not emails, right? That's going to move the needle every single day. Everything else does not matter, all right? For example, for myself, the things that move the needle are sending out pitches every single day for me to be able to land opportunities. If I'm not sending out a pitch, there's no opportunity for me to gain. That's my thing that moves the needle. That's my one task. And then lastly, please, please, please time block your schedule, give estimates, whatever you need to do. Every single task, give it a big task of like 60 to 90 minutes, right? Estimate how long it should take for you to be able to accomplish whatever it is. And then after that, stop, all right? Your discipline and your consistency needs your energy. Rome wasn't built in a day. And so we have to remember our success also won't be built in a day. Excuse me. So with this, you also have to remember that if you continue to take from tomorrow's energy bucket, right, you will eventually not have the energy to go do those tasks that you're aspiring to do. If you have 90 minutes a day, stick with that 90 minutes and make sure it's a time slot or an amount of time that you can consistently do. Like if you know you can only do 30 minutes a day, that's cool, do that. But just because you have a little bit extra time, a little bit extra energy, don't go to 45, don't go to an hour, keep that 30, because more than anything else, consistency is going to help you get there. And consistency is what's going to allow you to hustle longer and not be burnt out, right? Because when you are overworking, you're doing the things that don't matter, all that type of stuff, you're pouring into tomorrow's bucket, that is when you start to fall into that trap of grinding again. And I do not want you all to do that. So as you continue to do this, as you continue to stay consistent, right, you're going to notice your wins are going to start stacking up. It's time for you today, after you finish watching this video, to stop grinding, because you probably feel burnt out right now as you're watching this video. Continue to work towards your goals, hustle with a purpose, right? That's going to build you up, right? And more than anything else, you don't need to do more. Just remember this. You don't need to do more. You need to do what actually matters.